You know that first sip of coffee? Let's see. Yeah, that's a nitro cold brew. That shows you how much has to get done today. So I thought what I'll do is a 3-minute takeaway. We're getting to the end of the rope on these guys. I think there's like 5 left in here. I just looked at the 3-minute takeaway playlist. I think it's maybe number 40 or 41. I think some fell out along. I thought there were 50 prompts in here. It might be more than 5. Yeah, I think, okay. There might be a little closer to 50 total. Today says self-awareness is a leadership superpower. Ooh, I wish I would have had this one last week. I was doing a whole bunch of prep on self-awareness for the emotional intelligence side of one of the cohorts. So, we don't have it last week. We have it this week. Let's go ahead and put our timer on. We're going to go 3 minutes. I already know what this makes me think of. Okay, this makes me think of... Ooh, I could take this a couple ways. Let's go with the Johari Window. Okay, I want you to think for a second. Maybe you're familiar with Johari Window, maybe you're not, but I want you to think for a second of 4 different window panes. Okay, in the first window pane, you have things that you know about you and others know about you. These are the knowns. You know them, they know them, you don't care if they know them. These are just the knowns that happen in our relationships about our behaviors, our habits, our strengths, our weaknesses, how we show up. In the next pane, the next window pane, I want you to think about things that others know about you, but you don't know about yourself. These are the things that they might talk about behind your back in some cases where they're like, hey, I don't think he or she is so aware of this or knows that they're doing this or that. These are the blind spots that you would have. Okay, so if you're knowns, but then you have your blind spots. They know it, but you don't. Then if you look at the bottom pane, the bottom, in my case, left-hand pane here, you have the things that others don't know about you, but you know about yourself. They don't know them about you, but you know about yourself. These are your masks. These are the things you don't want other people to know about you. When you start thinking imposter syndrome, like I'm not right for this position, a lot of the things that are happening in your thought process there about your behaviors and what you think you're qualified for, what you think you're not qualified for, those are happening in the mask. You don't want other people to know about some of this stuff. And then the last final pane or quadrant are the things they don't know about you and you don't know about them. These are your unknowns. Unknowns. This is where your potential lives. It's undiscovered. Now, that's probably an oversimplification of the model, but we only got 3 minutes and I have less than a minute left. So I wanted to just paint you a picture of that so you could know there are your knowns, there are your blind spots, there are your masks, and there are your unknowns. When I think of self-awareness being a leadership superpower, what I think about is the reflection that goes into what might be in my blind spot. What might be in my blind spot? What is happening that I am missing? You know, if you look at my DISC personality style, I am a high D personality style. I'm a DI. And so there are things in my blind spot where I would just bulldoze through something in a meeting and not stop and take the time to explain it or see what other people are thinking. I wasn't really aware I was doing that. I thought I was just finding the solution quickly. But as I started to look into it, I started to think maybe I am taking over the meeting. It's in my blind spot. That self-awareness helps me exponentially grow my leadership. And the same thing is true about our mask. The same thing is true about our mask. There are things we don't want other people to know. We've got to be vulnerable in some of those areas. We got to build ourselves in those areas. And we need other people to help us build ourselves in those vulnerable areas. So really when I look at the Johari Window, I'm looking at, from a self-awareness perspective, where are my blind spots right now? Who's calling those out for me right now with me? Who's my accountability there? And what am I hiding inside that I want to bring out, that I want to conversate, that I want to get better in, that I don't want to live in a mask anymore? Well, I hope that helps. I hope that you know that you have a superpower inside of your leadership, and it starts with, as John Maxwell will say, knowing yourself before growing yourself. That's today's 3-minute takeaway. I'll see you tomorrow.